The third day of November brings okay conditions, but the mercury is forecasted to quickly rise. Hoping to take advantage of the cooler morning hours, team member Justin Kamps is back on his northern Illinois farm, heading to a stand location deep in the hardwoods.
Alright, we're most of the way there. I'm just walking in the creek bottom. So I've got another 100 yards or so and then up the ravine to the stand. So we're close. So far so good, other than being a little sweaty. Good morning. It's November 3rd, and it is going to be warming up fast today. It's about 35 now, and it's going to be going up to probably about 60 today. It's a very calm morning, and we're sitting on the edge of a big ravine with bedding area in front. So because I'm in the middle of the bedding area, we're going to get a little aggressive and see if we can't rattle up a buck. The main buck I'm in here for, really the only one I know, is a buck that I call the shed buck. And so we're gonna see if we can't rattle him in with his own antler, which would be pretty sweet, but that's who we're in here for. We're in here for the shed buck. He's at least 6 years old, I'm sure, maybe even older. I think his rack went down a little bit from last year, but see if we can't get him.
Justin's move to hunt the bedding ridge is paying off, but so far the shed buck is a no-show. 280 miles to the west, Mike Reed is also on stand, hunting on his and Jared's southern Iowa river farm.
Good morning. It's November 3rd. We're set up down at the river bottom farm again today. I'm in the same stand I hunted yesterday. We're back at the head of the slough. We have a really light southwest wind. Yesterday a lot of deer came in from the south. And also DAC has been a little more active on the south end of the peninsula than on the north end. So all of those things led me to come in here. As I mentioned yesterday, we're at the neck of the peninsula and we're about 150 yards to the river on this side and 200 yards on this side. And through the binos, if I'm watching closely, I can see deer coming in and out the entire way. It's hard with all the grass and the cover to catch all of them, but we have good visibility. They're a little less likely to walk in bow range, so this is a stand that, I may have to call to them, but it sets up well for that too with all the thick on the ground. It's really, really thick. And so it sets up well for calling. So we're gonna keep our eyes peeled. Hopefully Dak or Marino make an appearance this morning. He's coming. Oh man, that doe. another good encounter with Dak. And I was just getting ready to get down. I need to go vote, and I got to get back to work tomorrow, so we were going to hunt closer to home. And Chase said he had been seeing for, 15, 20 minutes, some antlers, what he thought was antlers, moving in the brush about 100 yards away. We never noticed that there was a doe and a fawn. I'm still not sure if she was bedded with him or if she just happened to be coming back into the bedding area, because he walked out and it looked like he was going to come just perfect on this side of the tree upwind. And then next thing you know, I heard Chase say, "There's a doe." And at that point, she'd already picked us off in the tree right here. I think she caught Chase trying to get the camera around, get set up for him to come on this side of the tree. And so once I peeked around on this side of this tree, and she was already staring up here. And so as opposed to coming in, she kind of started working off. She wasn't sure what we were, but you could tell she was nervous. And she ended up just getting far enough where she got downwind of us. And so she went back to the east, and he followed her. The fact that he stayed with her kind of made me think that she might have been bedded with him, but knew we were here. He never saw us, he never smelled us, but he certainly followed that doe off. So like I mentioned, we're going to be I need to go vote, so we're going to get down, and hopefully everybody's going to vote today or has done the mail-in voting. I got to pull that stand out of the pinch, which is just right here, and then we're going to ease out of here. And I've got to work tomorrow and the next day, so I won't be back down to this farm till Friday. For this afternoon, I'll either hunt urban or my home farm.
Back in Illinois, Justin is still sticking out the morning hunt.
It's 9:30, and I see what look like antlers over here, and it looked actually like a dead buck. So I looked up at it, and then I grunted, and it's actually the shed buck. So he's bedded about 60 yards away from us right now. So that's pretty sweet, but nothing yet. So I'm just gonna sit tight here for a while, and pretty cool. So that's the buck we're here for. I got him at 60 yards. Oh my. Just had the shed buck bedded at 60 yards, and for maybe 45 minutes he got up and was heading the other way, so I smashed the horns together. And it's always been a dream to hit the horns, to call in a buck with his own antler, and I just did that. He came behind me, and I was a wreck. I had him at, I don't know, 25 yards. I couldn't get him in the camera. I was all twisted up. And I just drilled him. I just smashed him. It is 10:25 and the shed buck is down. Whew. November 3. Love it. I see some really good blood all through here. So it's a good trail. You shouldn't be too much further. Here he is. All right. The final chapter of the buck that we call the shed buck. So I found his shed down in the bottom, a couple hundred yards from here this summer, and really I was targeting this deer. I knew he was old. His antler was a lot bigger than I was expecting. He's been around, but it just doesn't show his mass on the trail cameras, and so it kind of fooled me. I knew that he was at least a 6-year-old deer, so I went in this morning and had a few little bucks and some does, and then I saw him about 9:30 bedded on the edge of this big ravine. Super excited to shoot this big mature Illinois whitetail. Here's the shed buck.
That same morning, 150 miles to the southwest of Justin Kamps, team member Mitch Mollerus is on a quest of his own. Set up on his northern Missouri farm, he's targeting a legend of a buck known as Tigger.
It has been a crazy morning already. Just trying to get all our loose ends tied up, and deer start moving in this cut part of the cornfield. I bet we've seen 5 or 6 bucks out there. There's got to be a hot doe. And we finally got to lay our eyes on Tigger. He wasn't out in the field long. He come out bristled up, went back into the cornfield. I would say he's with the hot doe. Hopefully they work their way this direction. Or I may grunt at him a little bit and see if I can get him mad. He was pretty irritated when he come out in the cornfield. It's just nice to finally lay eyes on that ghost. Those are some big
is the evening of November 3rd. And this morning me and Justin sat here and we finally got to lay our eyes on the target buck in here, Tigger. That deer has been a ghost and we finally got to see him. It appeared that he was with a hot doe. And we're hoping that they didn't go far, either in the corn or just down that timber line there. With any bit of luck, he'll come out, come into the scrape, work this food plot a little bit, and give us an opportunity. But it's really, really warm. Not really sure how much the deer are going to move, but went ahead and got a little foxtail for good luck. Going to chew on that and try to pull out everything we got tonight, try to make it happen. So we'll see if it comes together.
Mitch and Justin keep their eyes fixed on the tree line, anxiously waiting to see the ancient buck step out behind the presumed hot doe. 350 miles to the north in southern Wisconsin, team member Josh Mersberger is also on stand.
Well, it's November 3rd. Got my brother Jace filming. This morning we went out and it wasn't good. We saw, while we were walking in, there was one small buck. We're on the other side of the road now, and where we saw that 8-pointer last night and all those, like 3 other bucks and a bunch of does. So hopefully they show. It's really warm out. It's like 66 degrees. We got a good south wind, southwest, and hopefully we see a mature buck, so stay tuned. Unbelievable, folks. I've been having some bad luck. We had a doe coming and then saw him coming and then she spooked. And I thought he was gonna turn around. But this little nubby came straight out and he kept coming, I took him because our wind's blowing southwest and it was kind of angling towards, and put a great hit easily and 50 yards from the tree. I can't believe it. I seriously cannot believe it. So we're gonna get down, get a good look at him, and I can't believe it. I'm speechless. That's unreal. Absolutely unreal. Look at the size of how wide he is. Jeez. He's actually a 12-pointer. Well, here he is. This is what Chasing November is all about. He's got to be 21 inches, I'd say, inside. Just a beautiful 12-pointer. Had pictures of him. He didn't come into the area till October, and then he was on the cutty links, and then he started showing pretty good, and then all of a sudden, Halloween, he disappeared. I thought he got locked with a doe, and so I was just kind of hunting all over, seeing if we could get a glimpse of him or something. And so we sat here because last night we saw a real good 8 out in this field, and then a nubby came walking, and this big doe that kind of, I don't know if she saw me trying to grab my bow or what, but then I saw him coming. So I grabbed the bow and she stopped luckily and started coming back, and the nubby just kept coming, and he walked 12 yards, and the RX4, man, put it right behind the shoulder, and it was true. So he ran 30 yards and tipped over. Just couldn't be more happier. So this is what Chasing November is all about. Wisconsin buck down. And Load it up.
Back in northern Missouri, the corn in front of Mitch's stand is beginning to fill with deer.
Is he still in the field? Yep. He's up there by the corner. He's up by these does. I'm on him now. Where's your croak hole, Justin? Is it out? Okay, yep. Oh yeah, I'm watching him. Yeah, I'm gonna let him think about that for just a second. There's another deer behind him. He's looking back over here. Oh yeah, for sure. He's like lip curling. Gonna wrap it up for us tonight. We threw everything at him but rattle, and the only reason we didn't rattle is because the deer, there was does out in the field, and he could kind of see where we were, so we didn't do that. But the ground had bleeded, snort wheezed. We just could not get him to break. He's staying fairly tight to those does, but I don't believe any of them are in heat. The way he was acting, he wasn't sticking that tight to them. So it was a great set this evening, being able to mess with him for probably an hour, bunch of does. So we're probably going to come back in here tomorrow. He's in the area. We just got to stay on him. And hopefully he does give us an opportunity. It's great to see him, but man, it kills you when you think he's coming and he would turn away, and he'd almost make me think he was coming again and turn away. And the deer just moves so slow. He's like in no hurry to do anything. That's what happens when you're hunting an old man.
That was another good encounter with Dak. Knew we were here. He never saw us. He never smelled us. And so she went back to the east, and he followed her.
10:25, and the shed buck is down. Whew. November 3.
Couldn't be more happier. So this is what Chasing November is all about. Wisconsin buck down.
And we finally got to lay our eyes on Tigger. He went down the field long. Almost made me think he was coming again and turn away. Man, the deer just moves so slow.
Justin Kamps accomplished a feat that every hunter has dreamed of at one point or another, calling in a buck with his own antlers and filling a tag, providing another example of how effective calling can be this time of the year when the bucks are alone. Mike Reed was one straw of luck from finally getting the opportunity he's dreamed about since laying eyes on Dak for the first time. And speaking of first, Mitch Mollerus is finally in the game on the ancient buck he's hunted for years. We are only 3 days into the long-awaited month, and already the number of open tags our team holds is decreasing. A great first leg for sure, but if history is any indicator, the coming week still holds the best action, right? Unfortunately, the forecast doesn't look good for the bow hunter, with seasonably high temps predicted for the coming days. We aren't phased though. With the momentum of so many great hunts giving us the hope we need, those of us with a tag in our pocket all believe tomorrow is our day, and it just might be. Until that moment, we will be there, enjoying each second, putting in our time, chasing November.